All right, back with Siren 2, on to our final mission. Blank column, blank time frame. All we know is that this is the last event to happen in the timeline of Siren 2. So, let's find out who gets the final mission of the game in Annihilation.
As long as you creatures exist, I will come back over and over again.
Well, our mission is to just keep defeating Yamire, as it is Kyoya's life now to just keep destroying creatures of darkness. It's a score attack. Keep destroying them. Get high points.
Back to the grave.
All right. Let's take a look at what we have here. So he has a flashlight. He has the Urian, an ancient cursed tool presumed to have been used in religious ceremonies. Details unknown require the holder's life to use. And he still has the Homoranagi, the Kajiro family sword, Homoranagi. All right. He also has his music. His occupation is student, but I don't think he's been to school recently. All right.
To go home.
Well, let's see how effective the sword is against a Ko Yamabito. Turns out very effective. Car is here. Oh, we can use the car? I didn't realize we could do that. didn't quite make that. We ran out of time. But congratulations. We got a new record. So you see how that level goes. We just keep getting teleported to different areas in the school, and creatures keep coming out. I think if I had killed the dogs, we would have gone back to the first part in front of the school. And it's a time attack. You can just keep going, see how long you can make it go, and how high your score can go. The description for Annihilation is, a figure appears in a thick mist. With the Homoranagi in hand, Kiyoya Suda is summoned to return all to nothing. So it seems that is what Kiyoya is doing now. Kiyoya is just some sort of supernatural being, because I guess he used the Urien, and he can just appear when the creatures of darkness appear to return them to nothing. So this is the last event on the timeline, 33 o'clock, which is, I think these other ones lasted, yeah, this is 24, so this is 9 hours later. We did get, there is something else on there though, but before we take a look at that, let's go to the main menu. Let's look at our archive. We got 2 more archive items, number 99 and 100. Number 99 is a missing person poster. The requirement to get this is to wander the netherworld. Missing, Kiyoya Suda was last seen leaving home, riding on a foldable mountain bike on August 2nd, 2003, Saturday. Mr. Suda remains missing. Name, Kiyoya Suda. Birthday, July 26, 1987, 16 years old. Blood type O, height 170 centimeters, weight 60 kilograms. Last seen wearing a moss green short-sleeved shirt over a white t-shirt, jeans, and white sneakers. If you have any information or may have seen Kiyoya, please contact the local authorities or police headquarters at the number listed below. So Kiyoya was never seen again after the events of Siren 1. Also, when looking at the description of his clothes, it makes you wonder if you were getting dressed in the morning knowing that the clothes you were putting on is what you were going to be wearing for the rest of eternity, you'd probably think pretty hard about it. And what's number 100? Portable stereo player, because we wandered the netherworld. Portable headphone stereo cassette player, playback only. And what do you suppose is on it? So yes, if you wanted a clean copy of The Buster, well, here it is. We have Kiyoya's Walkman. And I guess this does confirm that this is not background music, but this is the actual song that he's listening to on his headphones forever. Well, I mean, what else are you going to listen to if you're going to kill the creatures of darkness? It's pretty good music to do it to. Just got to make sure you have a song with you just don't get tired of. Now, we are missing something here. Number 98. This archive is almost all the way filled in, but not quite. So where can we get this? Well, before we see how we get this, there is something I want to look at. This one, number 69, the photo of Soji and Ryuko. So we've seen this before. We got it previously. You might remember this photo. A snapshot taken in a dimly lit room using a flashbulb. Soji Abe and Ryuko Tagawa are sitting together in the photo. Contrary to Soji's playful smile, Ryuko is wearing a dark expression on her face. So, we've seen this, and I just wanted to take a look at this right now. Just remember what it looks like. We'll come back to this in a few minutes, but just remember it for right now. Let's go to the link navigator. And as you saw when I pulled this out, since we've now done Kiyoya's mission, a new and actually I think it is specifically because we have now gotten 99 archive items. One additional cutscene has appeared. You can see that bright green rectangle. That was not there before, but it's there now. And that cutscene is for Soji at 24 o'clock at the Yamajima Lighthouse. What happened to Soji after he was hit by the red tsunami? In Lost World.
Oh. Is everybody gone? And so, that is our third and final ending to Siren 2, Soji's ending. Soji awakens. Tsukasa appears from behind. He wraps his arm around the dog as the sea, bathed in sunlight, spreads before him. So, Soji and Tsukasa appear to have made it out after all. And we got the final archive item from seeing this ending. Let's take a look at it. So the final archive item, number 98, the National Times. The requirement to get this is the collapse of causality. National Times, August 1st, 2005, evening edition. Man beaten to death. Roommate sought for questioning. Around 4 p.m., the body of a beaten man was found in an apartment in Tokyo's Shinjuku district. An employee of a local restaurant, the man was identified as 33-year-old Ichiro Nakajima. The body was found by Nakajima's employer, who went to his apartment room when Nakajima failed to return during working hours. The restaurant owner called the local authorities when he discovered a suspicious woman in the apartment where Nakajima was lying face down in a pool of blood, his head badly beaten. A warrant was issued for the murder suspect, Noriko Kifune, 33, an unemployed woman who refused to accompany the police for questioning and escaped from the scene of the crime. Further investigation revealed that Kifune had been residing with the victim for about a year in the same apartment room where Nakajima met with his untimely death. Neighbors also reported that the two were heard arguing on the previous night of the incident. So this is an odd article. The first thing that's odd the victim, Ichiro Nakajima, is the guy who knocked up Noriko on the Bright Wind. Well, not on the Bright Wind, but those two were on the Bright Wind, and is the father of Ikuko and Ryuko. Ichiro died on the Bright Wind. He never returned back. Only Noriko returned. She was the only survivor. But this article says that Ichiro is 33 and is murdered. And Noriko is the suspected murderer. So that's a strange thing. But also what's strange is that this article is written basically exactly the same as the article from earlier in the game, reporting about the murder of Ryuko and how Soji was the suspect. Basically, I think it's the exact same words, but you can replace Ichiro's name with Ryuko and Noriko's name with Soji. So that article was talking about how Ryuko was found lying face down in a pool of blood, her head badly beaten, and how Soji was the suspect. So this story is now changed that has different people in it, and the murder victim is someone who was supposed to have never been returned to reality to begin with, someone who was supposed to have died on the Bright Wind. And the requirement for this to happen is the collapse of causality. Now, the archive item that we looked at previously, 69, this is changed now. It says photo of Soji. The requirement is now the collapse of causality. A snapshot taken in a dimly lit room using a flashbulb. There's only Soji Abe in the picture. So, I think the idea is that with the death of Mother, the timeline changed so that Mother never existed, and as such, the doves never existed. So Ryuko never existed. Because of that, Soji is no longer suspected for murder because the murder never happened, because Ryuko never happened. Which is also sad, because Ryuko just never actually was alive to begin with then. Never existed in the timeline. It's good for Soji, because when he returns back to the world, he won't be wanted for murder anymore. But it is also sad that this is how things turned out. So I guess Soji is going to return back. I mean, how is Soji going to get back? He's going to have to flag a boat. But how is he going to... Maybe he's going to meet up with Mamoru and Ikuko, possibly. Then again, something I did mention to the chat before is that one of the websites we looked at, shibito.com, indicated that maybe Mamoru was never seen again. We don't know that for sure, but that's what the website indicated. So what happened with Mamoru and Ikuko? But as far as what happened with Ryuko, we do get the idea here that causality has been violated, the timeline has been changed, and Ryuko never existed, and thus Soji is off the hook. And so, that's all 100 archive items. We got them all. And that means that all of the missions and all of the cutscenes that are on this link navigator have been completed. I did mention that I wasn't going to play the game on hard because I really don't like the game on hard. And there is a special challenge mission if you do beat the game on hard, but that is not for me. Maybe it's for you. Maybe you want to do it, but it is not for me. But that doesn't exactly mean that we're done with Siren 2, even though we have gotten all 3 endings. There is still some other things we could look at. For one thing, you might have noticed that at some point, some text appeared on these mission screens that says trial mode. So this game does have time trials, and there is something for doing it. So we're going to take a look at what time trial mode is like and just get a basic idea about it as we still continue on with Siren 2.